How's everybody doing today? Random Andrew here, and I've got a special treat for you today. You've all heard of the channel What's Inside? Well, if you haven't, go check them out. It's a father-son team, Dan and Lincoln. They take all kinds of crazy stuff apart. Well, they don't really take it apart, they cut it apart and show you what's inside. Now, that's kind of what's going to happen here today. But I'm not going to be cutting something apart. I'm going to take it apart carefully so you get to see what everything looks like, all the components inside. Can kind of try and explain how it works, and if not, at least you get to see the inside of what we're going to be taking apart. So what are we taking apart today? You remember this guy? This is an SJ cam. But don't worry, this one's safe. This is the good one. This is the good one. It's gonna stay just as it is. The footage from it's pretty good. Works pretty good. 4-button operation. You got a power on the front, selection button on the top, up and down selections on the side. It's got a spot for your SD cards, HDMI mini output. It's pretty decent. Well, let's see what the footage looks like. So here it is, footage from the SJ cam. Yes, it's a GoPro, looks just like GoPro footage. Fisheye lens, it's coming very handy. You guys have seen this footage before. Back to the other footage. Kind of a little bit blue tinty, and depending on the light that you're under, can really affect how the footage is going to turn out. But it's great, it's high def, it's 1080p, it's got a whole list of options on it. What it comes down to, it's a GoPro clone. You've seen them all, there's a million. Action cam, SJ cam. This is the box it looks like, SJ cam. This is the SJ4000 that we'll be taking apart, by the way. This is the one we'll be taking apart. It got damaged, somehow the wet-proof case let go and it got wet. It never really worked properly ever since. I'll show you. You press the button, you turn it on, power's on, nothing else. Everything has been tried by more skilled technicians than the people who manufacture the damn thing. What support did I get from SJ Cam? Not a damn thing. So let's get to it. Let's see what's inside this puppy. So here you have it, the SJ Cam up close in full detail. Keep in mind, for me, this is up, and I know for you guys this is up. So it might seem a little awkward. First job is to separate this white piece from the rest of the unit. Actually, let's be smart. First job is to remove the battery. Just like that. 3.7 volt lithium ion battery, 900 milliamp hour, 3.3 watt hour. So you would get your thumb underneath the edge of this thing. And there's a secondary plate that would normally be screwed down, but I've gone ahead and pulled all those screws out for the ease of dismantling. Okay, so there's the faceplate. You can get these in different colors too, as the cameras come in different colors. Just tuck that off at the side of the way. And it's always a good idea to kind of place your parts down in the order you took them apart as well. This little piece here will actually pop right off of there. That's your power switch, so be very, very careful with it. Mine's been off and on many times as I've taken it apart trying to fix it. So this part here, there will be screws altogether. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws holding this plate down. And this is a lens surround that's kind of rubberized to help with keep moisture out and to avoid impact vibration, right? So we got it apart. You can already see some hair floating around in there. It happens. Here's your lens. That's the eye of the camera. You see the operation circuit board underneath. And you can see where your USB, your HDMI and your SD card slot come into play here, down into that side. And remember, those stick out of the casing a little bit, so when you lift it, you have to lift this side first. That's what I found anyways. Now, there's a little tiny speaker right here with wires, so you gotta be careful of that. It takes a little bit of working but once it's coming out, it's coming out, you see? Now, I made a mistake. I knew that SJ Cam wasn't going to be able to help me unless I paid for either a new camera or paid to ship it. So I said, screw it, and I pulled it apart just like that. You know what happened to me? This little ribbon came out. It is impossible to get it back in here on reassembly. So be very, very careful. If you ever think of taking one of these apart, be aware of things like that. When I was attempting to get it back in there, I had to use my tiny pair of vaporizer tweezers for doing work on my vaporizers, and I accidentally punched a hole in this ribbon, so it's no good anymore. That connects it to the display on the back. Without that, you're operating blind. That's pretty much the dismantle. I could go one step further and pull this battery tray off. But do you really need to see what's behind and underneath that? Honestly, yes, I think you really do need to see that. Why else would you be watching a video about something getting taken apart to see it halfway taken apart? Ooh. So as far as I know, the circuit board should still be okay. The lens, if anything, I guarantee that the lens is alright. Now, if you're doing this with full intention of it going back together working, I would not recommend doing this at all. I have a little thing here. I'm gonna put my screws in. Really good idea, or have a magnet nearby so you can at least hang on to them and not lose them, because once these things hit the carpet, they're gone. It's like magic, they just disappear. Okay, so here's the battery tray. Take the wires off the side. So the speaker is potted in place. Okay. So the wires for the speaker are limiting this from coming out properly. Why don't I just cut it? I don't know. So I don't like cutting things. That little board for your OK button up top just slides off. And here you can see the camera's processors. This lens is just sitting on here by a ribbon. That is still good. I'm gonna make sure I save this in case I ever decide to do an FPV build, first person view. Maybe I'll be able to use that camera. It's still in good shape. You guys see that okay? Honestly, yes, I think you really do need to see that. Why else would you be watching a video about something getting taken apart to see it halfway taken apart? Ooh. So as far as I know, the circuit board should still be okay. The lens, if anything, I guarantee that the lens is alright. Now, if you're doing this with full intention of it going back together working, I would not recommend doing this at all. I have a little thing here. I'm gonna put my screws in. Really good idea, or have a magnet nearby so you can at least hang on to them and not lose them, because once these things hit the carpet, they're gone. Magic, they just disappear. Okay, so here's the battery tray. Take the wires off the side. So the speaker is potted in place. Okay. So the wires for the speaker are limiting this from coming out properly. Why don't I just cut it? I don't know. Because I don't like cutting things. That little board for your OK button up top just slides off. And here you can see the camera's processors. This lens is just sitting on here by a ribbon. That is still good. I'm gonna make sure I save this in case I ever decide to do an FPV build, first person view. Maybe I'll be able to use that camera. It's still in good shape. Can you guys see that okay? So there you go, folks. That is what's inside of an SJ HD 1080p action cam GoPro clone. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I kinda did. I've always been curious to see what's inside one of them things. There's not much to what's inside of an SJ cam. Now I have a few other things in mind that I'd like to take apart. Like I have a drone, a quadcopter that's just, it doesn't work anymore. And I want to re-engineer it, build a new frame for it, and try and mount it on that. But instead of having it geared, go direct to pro. It's an experiment. And of course, if I try it, you're going to see it. So stay tuned right here if you want to see more random videos of random things. Don't forget about the daily random vlog. And if you're watching this and you're not a subscriber yet, please click that subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video. And we'll talk to you guys again soon, taking apart more stuff and doing other random things. Talk to you guys later.